Having tea.
Laka, laka, laka.
Real tea. Real tea.
I know, right? I know.
Okay, let's mute this one out, okay? You can mute back and forth. Hey. Yalla, 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 yalla. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Yes. 103.5 FM. This is the one and only, the hottest show here in New Haven. Dare I say that? Say it loud. It is Thabisa and Friends here on WNHH 103.5 FM. Oh my God, this glory to the Lord and the Almighty. Oh my goodness, I am so happy today. It is my day. It is my, can I just reclaim this day and saying the power? Should I say the blood? Hey, I've got my wonderful friend today. I've got my BFF today, my sister, and my pillar, my friend. Oh my gosh, she's family. Okay, she's beyond just all of these things I just mentioned right now. I have a wonderful guest today for you guys, and I wanted to introduce you to someone that's very important in my life, someone I love so dearly. Yes, so welcome WNHH 103.5 FM here on this number one radio, community radio station on Thabisa and Friends. And noon, this is the only show that makes sure that you wake up and accept that the week is yours. And this is the week for you to win. This is the week for you to do your best. This is the week for you to just achieve whatever you set your mind in achieving. Good to see you all. See you all. And but most importantly, Good to see my friend here. I'm happy that she made it here. Where is she? I can't see her. Let's see her. I want to see her face, Harry. I don't want to stare at you, Harry. Hi, Harry, and thank you, Harry, for today, for always linking us up and making sure that we are live on air and we are, you know, we're able to connect with the community. Good people, I would love for you to welcome my dear sister here, Lolita
Thank you.
Petros Mansane. Hi, sis.
Thank you. Hey, sis, how are you?
I'm overjoyed. I am so excited. I'm happy to have you here.
Huh?
I'm so glad you could make it here. I know you're busy. You have a lot on your plate. You know, if you're not mothering, you are wifering. And if you're not wifering, you are healing. If you are not healing, you're just, other people, you also just focus into your own journey and your own, career and budding career and all of that. So I'm happy that you could take this moment and be with me today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hi to all the listeners of 103.5 FM. I'm so, elated to be with you on your special day even. How awesome is that, eh? I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. Such an honor, eh?
You're welcome. I'm feeling very honored that I could have you on this show. That we could connect like this, even though we're so far from one another. I haven't seen you in ages. Okay, so
right? It's been over 10 years, I think.
It's been a long. Jesus, don't even say that because I didn't even think it was that long. I didn't even think it was that long. Wow.
How did that
happen? How did that happen? I suppose a lot of life and a lot of growth and a lot of, experiencing in life, and just, growing as individuals. Wow. 10 years. That's a decade.
That's quite long. I remember the last time we saw each other. I think it was at my wedding.
I think
at my wedding.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, that was the best.
I think
that was the
I'll
best
never get my reasoning and thinking there. I think a couple of years ago. That was the last time I actually saw you like in the flesh.
Wow. That was one of my favorite days in my lifetime that I had at your wedding. I still have the photos every now and then. I look at them. And I just transport me back. Yeah, I just look back and I'm like, God, you were so pretty.
Experiences.
You were so pretty. I mean, you still are, but that day you were like glowing on another level. Oh my gosh. Memories, great memories. But I'm happy to have you here. I mean, today, beautiful people of New Haven and of South Africa. You know what I love? I don't enjoy using this word love just for the lack of words, but I'll say what I love about COVID-19 is that somehow it has managed to put, the different worlds together into one space, into one platform, which is the web. We are now connected in a different vibration, and it feels different, like I don't feel like we're so separate, as a world so much anymore,
which is quite good. Yeah,
right. So I feel like we are just like all one, and I feel like I can't look at this community radio station and think it's a community radio station anymore, because here you are from South Africa, we linking up, we're talking, we're connecting. I can speak to people in the UK, the Netherlands, anywhere practically, and
anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world, and they could be in this space, in this community radio station. So like I dread saying that, 103.5, FM community radio station. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think it's just about the community only.
It's so beautiful.
It's a broader community, I suppose. Yes. So it's a broader community. So I'm happy to be able to connect with people from other parts of the world and bring them to New Haven, even if it's via this channel. And I'm also obviously so grateful to even be in this space where I can be in this show. Thank you, Paul. I love you, Paul. That's my boss. So like I'm so happy that like Paul was like, you gotta have your own show, have it, so I really feel blessed when I in life and I meet people like that just simply have like faith in me without me even trying to prove anything, or just throw me with some
To be
new
yourself,
experience.
Basil.
Yeah,
Because
just yeah.
to be yourself. Yes, to be in a position where you can
Exactly.
just live your reality. Because I mean, I haven't seen you in the longest time, but nothing has changed more than you have grown. Yes, you're a better
Yes.
woman, still amazing, but the energy is still a ball of
Still the
fire.
same.
Still
I
there.
miss you so much. Guys, let
I
me
miss
tell
you
you this.
more.
This is my BFF. I don't know. I listen. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. She remembers it more because I feel like it was yesterday because I talk to her every now and then over the phone. But it's been 10 years physically seeing each other. But it doesn't feel like that. I don't feel like that. That's what I think. Guess that's what friendships are like, right? Because
Yeah, right.
it could be 20 years, but when we meet each other, it will be like we saw each other yesterday and we'll continue where we left off and we just move on with our lives instead of being like, okay, where do we begin? But that's just the beauty of friendship.
You're reminding me of something actually, because we actually could go for weeks without communicating, and then when we link up again,
Absolutely.
it will feel like we're
Absolutely.
picking up from yesterday, literally.
Right. Exactly. It's
Because of
always
your
like
busy
that.
schedule. Yeah, because you're so
Right.
busy as well. I'm also busy, but we slowly try
Right.
to regroup. What happened to you? Are you okay? No,
Sorry.
no,
Sorry. I know. Excuse me. Yes, you're
no
right.
worries.
Yes, you're correct. Lolita, so here there are a couple of things. I know you are such a wonderful intricate human being that I have known. And I love that about you. I love that about you because you had to read. Nobody can
Thank you.
confirm you.
The
Nobody can
beautiful
confirm
compliment.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, no, nobody can confirm you, which is like something I love about you, which is something I think for me it's different. It's what we have is like personality wise, we opposite. I'm more like, yay, everybody, and you're like,
I'm here like,
okay.
girl.
You're like, let me just read the room first and I'll decide if I want to stay high, and I'm like, I don't care. Hello, everybody. So, but I love that fusion, that whole combination we have as friendships because it really balances us. It balances us out, and it's and your personality has saved me from a lot of hardships or rather even like just heartaches from other people because yes, because of you put that wall and then I'm like just breaking in and I'm running through something that's probably going to hurt me, but because of your pull sometimes it really makes me think I'll step back a little bit and be like, okay, maybe I need to assess the situation before I put myself out there like that. But anyway, that's another thing about your character and personality that I enjoy, which not everybody actually understand, which nobody really, nobody, but most people find themselves not understanding about
nobody.
you.
You're quite right. It's only a few, so I would round it
Very
about
few.
nobody. It's
Right.
only like a percentage.
Rounded about nobody.
So happy with this, by the way.
Right, that's true. No, that's very true. And I know and I know us growing up, and I know you growing up as well. Like those are the things that have, as we grow up, we have our own insecurities as people, as we try to find ourselves, and as we try to grow into our full beings. We have all these insecurities. I mean, personally, I still struggle with that. Those little insecurities that creep up, that try to get at me, and and sometimes they, depending how I receive them or listen or not listen to them, that can gauge me if I cave in and then I fall into that trap, or I decide to rise above that. But I feel like we've gone through a lot. Like we've known each other for quite some time, and we've known each other in the peak of our lives where we didn't know everything, but we were starting to I feel like we were sort of starting to settle into our bodies and also into our mindsets, trying to figure out who we are. There was a lot of confusion. Understanding self and the environment we were in, and just growing in a rapid pace, and it was tough. It was tough. We've been through a lot, and being children.
I know.
and being children that grew up in the hood. Right.
Yeah.
And growing up in the hood, it's a different it's a different vibe altogether. Like a child who grows up in a suburb and a child who grows up in a, you know, in a I don't know, on greener pastures and then a child who grows up in the hood who's trying to have their dreams realized. It's a whole different game ball. It's a whole different
game. It's
ball game, right? It's right.
yeah.
So can you tell me, like, as a younger you,
Okay.
how were you how did you manage to get through that stage of your life when you were so confused and trying to figure yourself out? You're a student and you're trying to also be this, you are this young adult who's trying to venture out into the world and be a woman that you want to become. And then, you know, like meeting all these different human beings and all the challenges you faced. Like how was it? How was it for you in that phase, just in general, without necessarily being specific? Like, how was it in general?
Let me try and go back. I'm not going to go too deep because I don't want anybody crying, because I tend to, you know.
Yeah, you go a little deep.
Just be casual.
Right.
Well, I don't think there's any formula of navigating life. Being in a position where you're in a community full of different characters, you know, you are somebody who comes from a family that is also thriving, you know, trying to figure out self, navigating life together with your art. There's college, there's friends, there's social life, there's relationships. And there's also something that was hanging over my shoulders, which was my calling at the time. You know, I don't think there was necessarily a way that I managed it, but I took everything as it came. I think the biggest thing for me was grounding myself and understanding what made me to be. Because, you know, for the longest time, I've always thrived to be happy on a daily basis, irrespective of the circumstances, irrespective of my background, irrespective of not knowing what tomorrow held. But something that I took from each day was, you know, I'd just be happy. Everything else will fall like a glove, like will fit in like a glove, sorry. So
right.
There wasn't anything spectacular that I would actually do or any planning necessary. So I would just go into every day wanting to be happy.
Right.
And with that intention, everything else is, you know, just fit in.
Right. No, absolutely.
I remember our days when I was still in college and PE. We were like young adults who were trying to navigate life, and the only thing that made us happy was just to be around people. Right. You know, that's also part of wanting to be happy, and having to not have like to make, you know, meet ends meet.
Right.
I mean, with food, with just social spaces, with trying to fit in as well.
Right.
Those dynamics need you to just be, because you can't plan, child. What you mean? You can't plan. You don't know where your next meal is coming from. What you mean? What you planning for?
Oh Lord!
So you
Lord have mercy. Look, I like. Right. Like, listen, like resilience. Like there's one word for that, resilience. Like,
yeah,
it was.
Just let me just add something there quickly that I think I'm forgetting mostly. What also kept me going was the beautiful foundation that I had, because, you know, my grandmother is a strong Christian woman. So from a very tender age, we were introduced to understanding self through the art of meditation, which was prayer, and understanding our feelings. Because I grew up, I was an angry child. Oh my goodness.
You're telling me.
Yeah, girl. So I would have to now ground myself, not let everything around me like trigger whatever it was that I was going through. As I said, you just try to be happy and push through the day without having to, you know, break anybody's window or step anybody in the eye.
Oh my God! Yes, no, please, thanks. Right.
Yeah.
No,
so,
absolutely.
But prayer.
Absolutely. Talking about that, talking about anger, and I know you were quite angry at some point in your life, you know, and we all were, you know, but I realized that with the youth in our communities and in the townships and in the hood here, as they would have it, you know, the youth is angry, is depressed, is there's an overwhelming cloud of sadness, Do you know why? Do you
True.
know why? Do you know why? Was we grow up with such a burden on and such anger in our bodies? Do you know why? Do you think that our past has a lot to do with it, and how our family structures are as well?
It does. I don't know everything before
Mm.
I even start to dig deep into that. But what I can try to explain or break down with what you're asking is that many families grow up dismantled, especially in our Black communities, because we are not people who are together. We don't necessarily come and discuss things, because I know in some Black families, having a conversation about problems is like, well, go ahead and deal with it and come back with a solution kind of thing. Or you would now then have to go to your neighbor to ask that, you know what, my friends are bullying me at school, or I'm having trouble with maths or whatever. Our biggest problem in our families, more especially in our Black communities, is communication. And it goes very far back, something repressed in our DNA with our ancestors as well. If one is having unresolved generational ties and misconceptions about who they are, then those are
Right.
easily transferred to whoever is birthed within that lineage. So now when
Right.
you have that early spirit of understanding who you are, understanding self,
Right.
understanding who you're coming, you grow up now not understanding who the hell you are and
Interesting.
navigating now in a community where it's diverse. You're trying to fit
Mm.
in with people wanting to now understand self. And there's somebody who comes from Milani now, Milani meaning the suburbans who now
Right.
have
Right.
that fit in together. You're like, okay,
Right.
how is he not understanding what's going on? Not understanding self is the biggest, trap
Is it? Yes.
of
How?
being able to know what is going on. Because once you're not understanding self and there's no family orientation and there's no togetherness in the family, it makes one not understand how they then move forward in life, who they are, where they come from, how they lived in the past, what their families or ancestors wanted, to lead and to live and to be, what they
Mm.
had
Mm.
in terms of, their roots, their culture, their belief systems, and
Mm.
etc. If,
Mm.
if you are not understanding that, trust
Mm.
me, it
Mm. Mm.
grows into something like a cancerian thing in your body where it grows and
Right.
it manifests in pain. Pain you can't even
Right.
touch. You then become angry. You then
Right.
become, you even say, nobody understands me. Oh, I'm just sad. Why are you
Right.
sad? Gets me. Why doesn't nobody get you? It's not understanding how your forefathers lived, not understanding how your own parents now live in your own homestead, which
Mm.
now triggers so many emotions that are repressed in your DNA,
Mm.
enabling you now to go over the place. And then you unravel,
Mm. Mm. This is.
then you become the old Lolita, you know.
We don't have the old Lolita, otherwise this we will not be here.
Girl, keep down. Girl, keep down.
No, but you know what? There's a beauty in the old Lolita too, because you know,
The
um, like I feel like I cannot disagree with what you said, because all of us, we carry pain and we carry our history within our DNA. It's suppressed in our blood and in our DNA. So like I feel like I'm in America. I come in a country that's has this abundance and opportunities, and at the same time, it's not a country without its problems, either. However, I see a lot of people here, going a route of self towards a route of self healing and getting to know self better and
which is
loving self
amazing.
and all of that, and reclaiming their power as human beings, and especially the Black and brown communities that have not been heard for many centuries, centuries. And but now people are saying, voicing out, they're putting out their voices out there. And I look at my own country and I see, like, okay, we're like 30 years, we're less than that. We're less than 30 years, like maybe 25 years in our democracy. Excuse me. In our democracy, we're still young. And then I feel like once you come in a space that is like this old, like in terms of democracy, like America, and then you look at your own country, like our own country, like that's young in democracy, you cannot unknow what you know. Because what I realize here is that I have a voice. something I know I don't have when I get home. I don't have a voice. We're
Yeah.
still dealing with patriarchal issues where a man has to have the voice. We'll think about it for you as women. We see that in parliament. We see how many women that are in high positions, and we see and in community as well. We see how even those women that are in political and in powerful positions, how they have no say as such, except for I do love Madonsela, and I think like she's like our Ginsburg. Like I think she's a trailblazer for me, and I think she should just continue being who she is and even more. But anyway, like when it comes to women and that are in power in my country, I feel like I'm sorry, I'm gonna just say it out loud. The ANC, the mamas for me.
Girl, you're tripping.
I know,
you don't
but I'm
wake
like
up my ancestors.
and I'm not even gonna go deep into it. But you know what? I'm not gonna come here and call out and talk about the Republicans and the Democrats and the Liberals and whatever, and then talk about my own. You know what I mean? So like the ANC, that's leading. Like the women in the ANC. The word is in my mind now. My tongue stopped it, and I'm happy my tongue stopped that word.
I'm glad too. I don't want you getting anything
horrible. Right. It's horrible. It's horrible because they don't stand up for women as they should. They don't stand up for the youth as they should, the young women as they should, and we need more young representative in those places that understand our problems our problems that we face in the hoods. Because when we elect these officials, they forget about us, but they give us carrots. They give us like devil carrots, and then we vote for them, and then they never deliver. Or they, in fact,
don't forget
maize meal. They give us the maize meal, and then the groceries and whatever the packages for us to vote for them. And then once but it's like it's ridiculous because you can't do that to your people. You cannot exploit people that are in poverty and say to them, okay, I'll give you a little bit of groceries this week if you do something for me. Do something for me, okay? But forget about your toilets. Forget about the quality of education. Forget about the quality of education for your children. Forget about having sanitary like toilets and having running water and all of that. Forget about that. Forget about picking your garbage. Forget about all these essentials that people need to function like human beings. And it's like there's no shame. There's no shame within our own government when it comes to its own people. And I know the country has a lot to deal with, and I'm not even trying to go too deep into politics, but it's a fact, and it's a thing that needs to be said out loud. Like I cannot live a life where 2020, like an Afrikaans person still feels the need to call my mom girl, or my dead boy in 2020.
I think maybe they need to regroup and give the ropes now to a younger generation, because I mean fresh minds always bring forth beautiful ideas, because we are a liberated country in the sense that now we can have a way around untying.
But the ANC won't let you though. Won't let the youth go. Won't let the youth, because if you're not going to get the tender, you're not going to make it. So like it happens in the arts. It happens everywhere. But I think the government needs to be held responsible. It needs to be held responsible. People need not to be shy to say no, government, you're not working for me anymore. You're working for you. That's what true democracy should be like.
Maybe I should call them to hire you this side, eh? What do you think? I should actually write an email to one of those parliamentary officers like, no, listen, I have somebody for you guys. I
will not be joining that. I love being free, and being in government is not free, because the thing is the system is still intact. It's intact in its racist juices. So in me being there at this point in time, I would have to also do a lot of educating myself deeply in the politics so I can understand how I could untangle the system that the people are dancing around right now. And I know the EFF like makes everybody dance and tells it like it is, and sometimes they go a little bit wild, but but they do the thing.
Fighting in parliament.
Right. So,
Yeah,
but I just feel like mental health in our communities is a thing that needs to be destigmatized, and we are dealing with a lot of mental health issues due to a lot that has affected us, including apartheid that nobody likes to talk about because nobody
yeah,
wants to hear the word racist. Nobody likes to hear about the apartheid, but it's a thing. It's a fact. It happened. It's part of our DNA now. We are born with it, and it's not that long ago. It was like literally not long ago. Not long ago. If people in America can still be talking and wanting to sort out things and issues and trauma that they dealt with slavery, what makes you think that you can talk about apartheid that happened yesterday? And you think that people
yeah.
are okay, and think that people are okay with apartheid? It's not. It hasn't affected them
I think,
emotionally,
you know what,
mentally, psychologically.
nobody wants to talk about anything that is negative, especially when they know that um, having to have conversations around patriarchy or apartheid or any of those communists who are also racists. I mean, if we have conversations openly, we can find solutions.
Right. Exactly. I think the
Nobody
first step
wants to
is
have
to.
those kind of conversations because some people are so comfortable, they are so embedded into the fraud that they do. So now, if you want to now touch where the corners that they lay, you are now going to now start fire there.
Right.
So I don't even think it's something that it's a conversation that they're even starting this side of the country. I don't even think it's something that they even are planning on doing it. So I just mind
I
my
think
own
people should
business.
just do it. Yeah. Well, that's true. No, but I mean, first and foremost, I think self-care and also self-care of your mind is very important because these things are traumatizing and they re-traumatize us every time we talk about them. And especially when you talk about them to people that don't want to talk about them, that don't want to take responsibility and say, you know what, we do recognize what has done was
Nobody
messed up,
wants to
and
be
we do.
accountable.
And we do know that we are beneficiaries of that system because while your grandparents were told that they were girls and they had to sit over there and not allowed education so that they can prosper and have jobs. And even those that managed to have jobs, even as secretaries, when they were underpaid and all those things we realize that they slow down your growth. They slow down your economic growth as a Black nation. Nobody wants to take responsibility of
There's
those
no
things.
progression.
They're always telling us that we need to work, we are lazy, and it ends there. And also, as well as a Black community, too, we have a responsibility too to unlearn, to learn to unlearn and cast away our inferiorities because we are suffering from inferiorities that were caused by the apartheid regime. And now we believe those things, that we believe that we are less than a human being. We believe that we're less of this. Yes, we have a boss. We look up to the boss. No. You be your own boss. You have to be in charge of your own life. You have to. You have to be in charge. You have to be. You have to be your own boss. You have to be your own boss, and you have to realize that you make your own choices in life. You have to make sure that you have to know that. And I get it. It's hard for us because we have nothing. We have nothing to like our
work
talents. We have nothing to work with. Our talents, our skills, we can't put them anywhere. We have no mentorships in
They
the
don't
townships.
want
There are
any
no
of that.
facilities.
They don't want any of our talents or any of that sort. They already have people that are linked to their systems. When they want somebody who's going to be performing or a tender of some sort, they already have their own systems. So who are we? Who are we? We are
We're the
just
people. We are the people. We are the people, and the people need to find their voices and realize that the government is not the boss. We are the boss. We put the governments where they need to be.
Away from us. Yeah, they've taken our voices away from us.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, you are on 103.5 WNHH 103.5 FM on Thabisa and Friends. I am here with my friend Lolita Petros Mansani. Oh my gosh, we're talking about life. We're talking about where we've been. It's my birthday, so I'll do whatever I like. So I'm sorry. If you don't like it, dance. If you don't like it, dance, because it's my birthday. That's the only thing you can do. If you don't like it, dance. And if you love it, dance some more, okay? So it's my birthday. I'll pop a champagne, but I don't want to get up here. I'll pop a champagne. And what time is it? Is it drink o'clock? Maybe not.
Throats are open already.
Throats are open already. But I will drink my coffee.
Tea.
To myself. And
but tell me how you have been though, eh? let me switch it up a little bit. I know this is your show, but I want to hear, I haven't had a chat with you in the longest time. I'm switching it up so that we can now move away from the politics and come to our politics. How have you been? How have you found your
I've been great. I've been great. I've been great in other ways, and greatness does not come without, you know, heaviness or challenges. And yeah, so like I'm blessed. I'm highly blessed, and I'm appreciative of the spaces I'm in, and it's not without, you know, my efforts. You know, I nothing is given, you know. I don't believe that nothing is given. You work for your things. I mean, of course, of some are given, but just I'm just saying, generally, like nothing is given in this life. You know, you have to work for it one way or another. And then there's a beauty in life when you have like great vibrations. You attract people that are wonderful vibrations as well, that sort of become a part of your path, and they lead or push you to go towards where you want to go. So I've been a very fortunate human being that has had a path that has people around me that want to see me succeed, that want to be part of that success, that want to succeed in their own ways, but want me to be part of theirs, or want me to be part of their success, some of their stories somehow. And it's just been a great journey. It's always been like that. I think that's how I even literally survived life, is through other people. And I can never you know, pretend like that's not a thing. It's a thing. Like I think if it weren't for my music, I don't think I would be anywhere, first of all, because I think it saved me from a lot of things. It saved me from homelessness. It saved me from a lot of embarrassment. It saved me from myself. It saved me from a lot of things. So it really, sometimes there were times where music was the only thing keeping me alive. You know, the thought that I want to make it someday, and then and then I had a child, you know, and I thought to myself as well, like that's another thing that's keeping me alive. So I had like different sources of oxygen for my life. But I'm doing great, and I say that knowing that there are challenges, and some of them are mental challenges.
But I mean, nothing is just graceful. I mean, it's beautiful challenges. Right. Having to now have this open conversation with you, it's actually reminding me where we come from. You know, we come from a place of nothing, and right. we are now in a state of everything. Right. It's not necessarily everything we've ever dreamed of, right. but it's necessary to be where we are, because I mean, I wouldn't believe that everything that happened in the past was all bad, but having to be right now here on the density of this earth, speaking to you, beautifully right. so, it reminds self, and it reminds, I would want to remind also your listeners that nothing is for granted and nothing is by coincidence, because everything happens for the goodness of the will of God and our ancestors.
Right.
And just to also maybe remind you that when you say music has saved you, I strongly believe that, because I've watched you from, I mean, a couple of years ago to being who you are now. You've always had a voice, yes, but now you have multiplied into so many, you know, facets. You're no longer that Thanks. Person who only focuses on one. You're now having so many umbrellas. You're having right. so many ropes around you that are pulling you in to become the greatest of self.
Right.
Which is
right.
powerful and great.
That's again music. That's again music. I mean, it's like, you know, opportunities, you know, as well. Like coming. People like to say, "Oh, you're so lucky," but I'm like, it's not luck, you know. Like
it's hard work.
It's work. It's being prepared. It's being prepared, and also like knowing how to identify opportunities. And because you are prepared, you can easily go ahead and meet them. And then people say, "Oh, then you like it." Like, no. I not everybody could see an opportunity and realize it's an opportunity. And even those that do see an opportunity, sometimes they're not ready for it, so they never go for it, and they miss out on things. So we've been preparing all our lives, like all those hard times we had in Central PE South Africa. We've been preparing all our lives to stand in places like there's no way. I believe there's no way I cannot stand and tell people who I am. You know, like I'll be ready for it. I'll be ready for it, because you know I don't believe I am only a circumstance of my a product of my circumstances. I know I'm a part. I know part of it. Yes, part of it. which is the thing that also fuels me to want to be better, to want to be stronger, and to inspire too, because I can identify when I see pain. I know the smell of pain. I know the smell of hurt, and as well as I am also joy at the same time, So I mean, it's been really tough. It's been really tough, but I'm really happy to be here, to be in a community that appreciates the arts. This community makes me as well. It really makes me who I am. It makes me it makes me challenge myself. It makes me challenge myself. People have faith in me, and you get tasks to do or challenges, and I'm like, yes, I'll do it. But I'm like, I've never done this, but yes, I will do it. How? We will see. And that's how I've gone through this phase where I have like a year of yes, which started last year, where I've said yes to everything, things I didn't know. I said yes to this show. I'm not a host. I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And if it doesn't work out, you know what? I'm not gonna die, but you know what? I'm gonna live proud, because I'm like, I was brave to try it out, and it just didn't work for me. Yeah, if it means that I'm a little bit, I might get a little bit embarrassed. Sometimes I'm gonna have a bad show where I forget how to speak English. Who cares? I'm multilingual. I can just switch to my Xhosa and then see who doesn't understand. But it's just like, I will try things out, and I won't put anything in front of me I won't try. I do make excuses, but I try not to listen to those excuses, not to move forward. But I'm gonna also just go to Harry. Harry, what are you doing? I wanna see if Harry is here, and Harry has something on his inbox. I'm involved with the New Haven, just switching up a little bit. I'm going to be involved with the New Haven play project, where there are stories from the Muslim and international community, where people will be telling their stories of how they became or came to America, or their lives right here as we know them. And this includes me as well as an international. I have some stories to tell, or rather a story to tell, and also retelling someone else's story through a song. And this is going to be a very interesting show.
And I'm really excited.
It's going to be an interesting show, and I really hope that people watch. I'm going to send a link in the comment section, and I hope you guys can link. You can go through and click on it and find out what's happening, and book your spot. Okay, book your spot. It's going to be a virtual show. You're going to see. I don't want to spoil anything, because I really want to tell you what's happening, but I won't. But Harry,
I was hoping to actually see something.
I'm trying to see if Harry can pick that up. Harry has a clip for us before we go, from the New Haven Play project, and there it will show you what we will be doing. And it's very, that's a puppet show. Now he's playing a puppet show. The other one, not that the other one, that's a puppet show. Let me did I not send you a link, Harry? Maybe that's okay. You can play. You can start with that, Harry. That's for sure, because that's my upcoming song. Everybody, let's just listen to that for a little bit. But yeah. Even in strange times, I'll find my strength. Even when down, I'll stand. Oh, do you ever feel you don't belong? Sometimes I wish I wasn't born. So that one was a little snippet. That was a little snippet from my upcoming single, and I'm excited for it. And I just forwarded Terry the clip I wanted him to play. And so I had other things that I wanted to play, that with the puppet show that he showed. I'll do it the next time, and which is a very cute and nice puppet show that I think your kids should watch too sometime. It talks about COVID-19 and what they could do to help themselves, be informed. But Harry, I just forwarded him the video. Sorry?
That's a beautiful song, and the video is beautiful as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Still working on the song, and it's a different journey. Just to release a song, it's just a journey that I don't know if I can say it's my favorite, but it's nonetheless happening. Here we go. New Haven Play Project.
But the funny thing is, I would never imagine that a very momentarily decision like very random, seemingly random decision would change entire discourse of my personal and professional life.
Because they helped me, they gave me something. They were the reason why I want to be a doctor.
It's symbolic of God's constancy and control of everything that's happening in this world.
So this is my story of moving on, one gurbet to another. I think I'm up for even more challenges.
Long Wharf Theatre. We are here on WNHH 103.5 FM, and we are about to say goodbye to you. Thank you, Harry, for everything as usual. You're the best, and I want to thank my beautiful and wonderful sister here who is here today to accompany me on my beautiful day. I'm having so much fun. You've made my day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you much, and I wish you all the best in life and your spiritual journey. Please go all in, and you're already in anyway, and I'm like, you just, that's inspiring. I don't know how you do this, I don't know if I could, but all the best. And I'm watching you, you're inspirational, and that's just bravery, and keep it up, so, and all the best with family as well. And everyone who's listening today, tune in again the week after next week, and I'll be here again, Thabisa and Friends, bringing you your favorite stories or people and some friends that you may not know about. And if you want to be on my show, you know where to get me, and we'll see what you got for me, and I can put you on. So yes, thank you so much, and I will see you when I see you again. Harry, are you ready to take us out? I love you.
I love you, Mom.